All right. What is going on, everybody? Needs more drums, back with another American Truck Simulator video. In today's video, we're just going to be kind of chatting, telling you guys what's going on with the channel, just checking in. I know it's been a while since we've just done any kind of video like this, with the new DLC coming out. I've been kind of just trying to do a little more, videos with less commentary, just so you guys can kind of get the feel for what we got going on with the Montana DLC. And also, if you haven't checked out my video on how to back up a trailer, man, that's gonna come in that's gonna come in a lot of handy in this video, since we got this massive 53-foot gasoline trailer that we're hauling. So let's just get right into it here. First of all, this Montana DLC, I have been playing it for quite a few weeks now since it came out, and it is awesome. I love it. The detail that I've seen in the map is just, really, really good quality. As like I said before, these DLCs have been getting better and better. So if you still haven't gotten this DLC and are thinking about getting it, I would definitely recommend it. If that's not enough, maybe go check out my other video about why you should get this DLC, and hopefully that can give it to you a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, just look at this oil refinery. This place is awesome. I live pretty close to a pretty big industrial area. A lot of people in my family, work at the oil refinery out by me. There's a huge BP refinery, and this, it's the detail in this refinery that we're looking at right now is, it does it justice. It's got all the things that a refinery needs, and I mean, it just makes these industrial complexes in this game, look, it makes it that much more immersive, and it looks really cool when you're driving around all on those to these huge industrial areas. And I know, the prefabs and the factories and everything and the new DLCs have been getting better and better and a little bit more realistic. So I always like that when they put the detail into these areas and the scale. I know it's sometimes hard for, map developers to put a lot of detail into small spaces, because, they're only limited to a small amount of spaces they're working with. So it's like, when you create these industrial complexes with these massive, these large-scale factories and everything, it really is interesting, and it really is cool when they're able to capture that feeling of being in a huge industrial area with the small amount of space that they use. And, I know that's something that, when I'm building like in city skylines or something, that's something that I try to do too, is capture that. It's about scale. You want to make, even if you have a small area to work with, you want to make it feel large and feel busy and, complex, even though you might not have a ton of space to do so. So kudos to the map developers on that, on making these industrial complexes just awesome. But yeah, so aside from that, apologies for my voice. What's been going on in my world lately? So just this past weekend, I was at there's a town next to me. It's a small town, small little railroad town. Every year they have this festival where it's a little music festival. They close off kind of the main street, and they have a couple different stages. They got like a main stage and a couple small stages off to the side. And so it's really cool because they always focus the main stage around tribute bands. So they always have like a Led Zeppelin tribute band, or Journey, or Pink Floyd, which is, they're a really good band. And so I love going to that, and only been going for a couple years. I didn't even know it really existed up until about a couple years ago, which I'm like, man, I've been missing out this whole time. But anyway, so yeah, so I went with my dad and a couple of my bandmates, and we were there, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, definitely all night Friday night for sure. We were there the whole time. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, and we were sitting. Our singer is he's a priest at a local parish over in a couple towns over. So he he was invited to sing the national anthem before the show on one of the nights. So he got some VIP tickets, and we were able to get, the VIP section is nice because you get, your own little table, you get to be closer to stage, and the best part is that you get unlimited free beer the entire night. So yeah, it's definitely a win-win for all of us. And so we got, enough tickets to get me and the bass player in my band. We were able to sit in there with them and watch the show from pretty close. The only problem is, since they have to take the sound, the sound has to carry all the way down this main street, so it is just super super loud, when you get close to the stage. But if you walk back by kind of where like the food trucks are and everything, you walk back like a couple hundred feet or so, it gets way quieter. But where we were at, that it was just, we were just getting blasted. So that's why my voice is a little shot, because it's been a couple days. I'm recording this video. It's on Tuesday. The last day I went there was on Saturday. So already, it's a few days back, and already, man, my voice is just still shout, because we were having to scream to each other to say anything, because we were so close to the stage and the sound was so loud. But yeah, so that's what I was up to over the long Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you guys also had a good weekend. If you did anything cool, let me know in the comments. Always happy to chat and see what you guys are up to. But yeah, I absolutely love live music festivals like that. And I know this has nothing to do with Truck Simulator, but just trying to keep you guys, kind of have some interesting conversation, hopefully. But yeah, it's so much fun. And I love seeing good bands. And yeah, Friday night was a stacked lineup. They had this Journey tribute band, and if you know anything about Journey, there some people say that, and I agree, it's like kind of chick music back in the 80s, and the old arena rock era and all that. Everybody's got the big hair and the screaming guitars and a lot of keyboards. That's when keyboards were starting to get real big. But yeah, but Journey, actually they're a really good band. And if you listen to a lot of their stuff, their vocal harmonies, it's really hard to sing. For what it's worth, Steve Perry had an incredible voice, and it is so hard. We try to play a couple Journey songs, and my singer always struggles with trying to sing Journey, because he's just like, it's just out of my range. It's just he just has a very difficult voice to try to imitate and to do well. Journey's one of those bands that it's very hard to play live, because they have these complex vocal harmonies and these complex, the instrumentation, even like with all the keys and everything. It just is a style that is very hard to replicate. And so, it's always cool when you see a band that does Journey really well, because it's just not a band that a lot of cover bands can play. Usually when people play, the cover of a Journey song, they sound like total crap. And it's for good reason. Journey's just a really, really tough band. And so this tribute band was really pretty freaking good for what it's worth. And yeah, it's getting a little late here. We're gonna stop, take a rest, pick back up in the morning. Yes, perfect. But anyway, yeah, they were so good, and their harmonies were on point, and the guitar, whatever tone the guitars had, he was just spot on. Sounded just like him. And a lot of times that's something that I think a lot of people underestimate too, when you're in a cover band, let alone like a tribute band, when you're dedicating your whole set to just learning one artist. A lot of tribute bands, the vocals are important, and just the guitar tone, because different guitar players, a lot of times with different bands, like the sound of the guitar kind of makes the music. So when you have the Journey tribute band is going to sound a lot different than a Zeppelin or a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute band, for example. But yeah, they did really well. And then after them was the Zeppelin tribute band, and they were all right. In my opinion, I'm very critical of Zeppelin, because I play so much of it and I learned so much of it growing up, that anytime I hear people try to cover Zeppelin, like, I'm always very critical of them. And I know it's not always a great thing, but it's just like, I care a lot about the drums, and if you have a Zeppelin tribute band with a not super great drummer, then you don't have a Zeppelin tribute band. Because John Bonham was just one of the pioneers of kind of that era of classic rock and roll drums. And so yeah, their drummer's like, he was okay, he wasn't that great, and they just kind of they jammed, but it was like, yeah, could have been a little bit better, but still, fun nonetheless. And they busted out a few deeper cuts, some songs that you don't always hear a lot, so that's always cool. I love it when tribute bands or cover bands do that. They'll just play all the hits, they go kind of deep, and brings out the real fans. But Yeah, so that's always good. And then the headliner of that night was the Pink Floyd tribute band, and they are an amazing band. You know, aside Pink Floyd aside, they are just a really really solid group of musicians. You know, they have and it's crazy that like how much they have on stage. You know, they have like 2 or 3 guitars, keys, backup vocalists, you know, lead vocals, harmony vocals, saxophone, drums. I mean, they have like it's just a huge group, a huge band, and they put on a really good show. But you know, Pink Floyd kind of lends itself to that. You know, it's that real sort of like the psychedelic, kind of the beginning of the psychedelic rock. You know, where it's just kind of like a lot of it feels almost like if you ever listen to Pink Floyd, it's kind of like I'm trying to think of the word, but you know, it's everything flows together really well, and it's like a lot of just like long notes and long melodies and long like everything kind of drifts away, and it's real like, you know, it's kind of like yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's stuff like that. You know, it's just a really unique style of music, and so it's great. You know, when it's late at night and they have like all the little lights and you know the smoke machines going, and you're just kind of sitting there just listening to these powerful songs, and yeah, it was awesome. You know, I love going to see those guys play, and they've always been there the past couple of years, and you know, it really got me into. I didn't know a lot of Pink Floyd really before I seen those guys, and now I know a lot of Pink Floyd and have a pretty good appreciation for it. And yeah, you know, definitely check out some local bands in your area if you know you got a cool concert venue or places that people always play. You know, you just can't beat live music nowadays. And you know, all these you go to like Lollapalooza and stuff, and you know you go to these huge mainstream festivals and you see all these bands or these I shouldn't even call them bands half the time. They're just like artists that are going up there by themselves with just like a backing track, you know, putting on a show. And like, yeah, it's cool, but to me, people just don't get the same experience out of that as they do as like seeing like a good live band, you know, having actual musicians and no backing tracks and actually, you know, singing and actually playing real instruments. I mean, everybody loves that, and you can't admit that you don't. Like if you go see, you know, I mean, you know, if you go see a Journey tribute band and they start busting out "Don't Stop Believin'," whether you like it or not, you're gonna be singing along, and it's gonna be super fun. And so, yeah, I always love that. But yeah, there were a couple other good groups. There was a Crosby, Stills and Nash group, another band that I really don't want to say I didn't care for. I just didn't really know a lot about them. I had one of their records or a couple of their records and just never really, you know, listened to them a lot. But it's different, you know, sometimes when you see groups that when you hear songs played live by a cover band or a tribute band or by the actual band, you know, whatever it may be, it has a different impact than it does, you know, on a recording. Because like, especially with older albums, you know, like those Crosby, Stills and Nash albums, everything sounded, you know, really a little bit like it didn't have much of an impact to me. Like some of the vocals, you know, they're just kind of like a little bit more everything sounded lighter, you know, nothing was like super kind of in your face, and it's just like a lot of acoustic guitars and, you know, like real kind of night. It was like good listening. But when I saw these guys live, you know, cover some of these songs, it brought like a different energy, you know, seeing it live, and you have all the bass and just that everything that comes with being close to a stage, and you see that there's 3 vocal harmonies, and the way they sat, you know, those harmonies out to instruments, it just made it so much more impactful, and so much more like it's like, man, these songs like really jam, even though they might sound a little soft on the record. When you hear them live, it's like they really have a different kind of feel to them. And so yeah, I always love seeing, you know, good bands and good bands, you know, covering other artists, because a lot of times, you know, they'll add their own take to the song, where it isn't just, you know, they're not trying to play, you know, note for note, but just like being on stage and being in that different atmosphere, it comes across in a different way, and it's always really cool to see that. So yeah, I'm sorry, I know we're already almost at the end of the delivery here, and I've been rambling about you know, this freaking music for 20 minutes, but yeah, I love this stuff, you know, like I always said. I mean, that's just kind of what's been going on with me with the past weekend and what's been going on in my life. So yeah, thanks for sticking around and listening to me rant about that. But in the other scheme of things, what's going on with the channel. So yeah, I've been putting out, you know, a few different kinds of videos lately, about some different things related to this game and related to the Montana DLC and stuff, and super excited to get that. And I also got my hands on a new recording software. So I was using NVIDIA Shadowplay before, and the problem was I was getting these really weird, like, audio glitches in a lot of my recordings. Apparently, you know, I tried some different things that, you know, tried to look up the problem and find some different things to fix it, and, you know, nothing really worked. And I kind of attributed the issue to, I found a lot of people say that there were some issues with NVIDIA Shadowplay being compatible with the Realtek audio drivers, which is what I have. And so, you know, some people said some things had some solutions that try to fix it. You know, I tried those, didn't always work. And so I just couldn't really figure it out. And then I found that there is, instead of having to spend a bunch of money on some professional grade editing software, which, to be honest, I don't really need right now because I don't do this enough. But I did get my hands on OBS Studio, which is a free open source software. Yeah, I had to roll the windows down, you know, off the expressway here. Sorry. It's just, oh man, I love the sound of this truck. But yeah, so the audio, I don't know if you can tell in, you know, my more recent videos with the Montana stuff and this one, the audio is way better than it used to be. There's none of that weird static and that weird clipping that I used to get before. So yeah, definitely really glad that I got my hands on a better software. And the cool thing about OBS Studio, besides the fact that it's free, is it's actually really simple to use and set up. So if any of you guys, you know, are ever looking at recording some gameplay or anything, it's pretty simple to get set up, and you can, you know, get all your devices hooked up really easily, and would highly recommend it. You know, I know I don't have the best computer for recording. It's a little bit, some of the stuff is a little bit dated, and it, you know, I didn't really get anything super top of the line when I bought this. So I know my videos aren't, you know, insane great quality, you know, no like 4K and all that type of crap, but you know, for what it's worth, it's good enough for me, and just, you know, it's enough to where it looks all right. And but even though I got to bring my graphics settings down a little bit when I record, but yeah, overall can't complain. So yeah, coming up next, I think I want to do some more. I had a lot of Rags to Riches videos recorded, but when it just, time kind of got away from me, and, you know, I didn't have any commentary recorded, or I did record the commentary, but it was starting to get a little dated because I didn't upload it. Plus, you know, with the audio glitches and stuff, I decided to scrap a lot of those videos and just kind of pick up from where I left off now. And yeah, we're definitely gonna do this 90XP one for sure. Come on, we got it going on here. We can back up this trailer, even though it's freaking huge, and this is one of the smaller prefabs. But anyway, yeah, with the Rags to Riches, I think I'm just gonna start kind of pick up where I'm at now. You know, do a couple I know the money that I made, you know, I think I had like 4 or 5 videos recorded that I'm just not gonna post because, like I said, the quality is just not great, especially now that I have this audio situation fixed. I'd rather just kind of have some clean, you know, better videos, and everything kind of being up to date. So yeah, those will come out, you know, when I get to them. I haven't recorded any of them yet. I've been, you know, real busy with everything going on with my bands and with work and everything. So that will be coming up soon, but in the meantime, yeah, just wanted to kind of get this video out, you know, catch you guys up on what's going on in the world of the man behind Needs More Drums. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and as I try to back up this trailer here, yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and stay tuned for more videos that'll be coming to the channel, and, you know, again, hopefully some better quality stuff. But yeah, I'll just you guys can watch me struggle to park this trailer, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.